The following is a paid program sponsored by the friends and partners of Faith Life Now. Today on Drenda.
The oil filter in the human body is the liver. What's going on in our society today is our livers are compromised.
Good to have you on the program today.
Yes.
We are going to be talking about a subject you ladies definitely want to hear.
That's right.
I know as a lady that's approaching 50, I won't say how close, I know I want to know about it, and that is how to balance your hormones. We hear so much about hormones.
That's right.
Don't
At
use,
any age.
Yes, that's true. That's
age.
right. A lot of people think that hormonal imbalances just happen when you're kind of, menopausal, but that's not the case. We're going to be learning today, and we're going to be learning what you can do about it and do it in a drugless way. Yes, I did say drugless. So welcome to the program today, Dr. Bob DeMaria and his wonderful wife, Debbie.
Yes.
Let's give him a great big hand. Hey, Debbie, good to have you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right, Dr. Bob, we got to hear about this, okay? Because
Yes.
I'm like right there trying to figure out, you hear traditional hormones are dangerous, and I think you probably agree with that. We'll hear a little bit more. And then you hear bioidentical, and then you have a different method altogether. So first of all, tell me, are there dangers in traditional hormone replacement therapy?
Well, they released a study in the early 2000s that they stopped the whole hormone replacement study because they found that women were having heart problems and other challenges. Do you know after that the amount of breast cancer reduced in America? You heard what I just said?
Wow.
That's pretty intense. So the amount of breast cancer started to reduce when hormone replacement therapy was asked to stop or to be minimized. But you brought up an interesting question because everybody thinks that menopausal is when you should be concerned about hormones. It started when you were carrying your daughter because what was going on in your body affects her to this day.
Wow. So it's very connected. So at any age, we need to be concerned about this issue as women.
More now than ever because of the water we drink, the food we eat. Do you know the average woman puts 150 chemicals on her body every day?
Oh, dear.
Oh, my gosh.
I think I put 175 today.
Those chemicals go in your body. They compromise liver function.
Well, one of the people that we had in our office one time, we did a test on them, and we found out that they put baby oil on their skin because they wanted to look moisturized. Well, that baby oil wasn't ever absorbed at all. We saw a test on a cell, and that baby oil was in their body. So just imagine, that was baby oil. What
I do
else
it every time
as
I
women
shower. I
do we put
have
on?
a bottle of baby oil in the shower, and I squirt it all over me because I have dry skin.
Think about it.
She actually ended up having a cyst on her breast. And when they did the aspiration of this cyst, the baby oil, the baby gel was in there. So you have to be really careful today. I graduated back in the 1970s and started practicing before we had to tell people don't drink the water. So don't drink the water. Well, I hate to tell you this, but the average glass of water's been through many toilets because when people use the restroom and it goes through the system, for the last 40 or 50 years, if you were taking medication and you had some left over, what do they tell you to do with it? Flush it down the toilet. So guess what's happened right now? We flushed for so many years that we're starting to drink the water that we've been flushing. There have been studies all over the United States, East Coast, up in, they've been finding female hormones and nicotine and antidepressants in water. So
Interesting.
I half joke, don't drink the water. You drink pure water. We drink water from a pure source.
I do that.
Do
I
you?
Yes.
We drink reverse osmosis water. Now, a lot of people just, You know, some people want to do distilled, some want to do spring, some want to do from a purifier in their own home, but you really have to test the water no matter what type of water you drink.
Even spring water.
Yeah.
The spring water is only as good as the water table that feeds it. So if a
That's
farmer,
what I've always wondered, because it is coming out of the ground, and you don't know what chemicals have gone into the ground from that source area. So I've always wondered about that.
that's exactly right. You want to make sure that your water is tested, and just because it comes from a spring does not mean it's not pure. Now, if you have a spring at home and you're watching us right now, don't throw that spring water away. You want to make sure that you know for positive that it's coming from a pure source.
All right, now I want to know, Dr. Barb, how does this affect our hormones? What we drink, what we eat, how does that affect us?
This is an oil filter. The oil filter in the human body is the liver. What's going on in our society today is our livers are compromised. In other words, they're plugged. They've been working so hard. Most women, they come into our practice, if they have any kind of hormonal issue at all, one of the questions I always ask them, and I'm going to ask you this at home right now, do you have tender breasts with your menstrual cycle? Do you have a heavy menstrual flow? And I know the audience is wondering who's going to ask next. Do you have hemorrhoids, varicose veins, or spider veins? Those are body signals of a compromised liver. Guess what organ in the body processes the extra estrogen? It's the liver.
All right.
So you're saying that most women have too much estrogen in their bodies from the
give-
things that we eat?
Not being able to process it in our liver.
It's a combination of everything. We live in a
Okay.
very toxic state. So I'm going to throw a new word out to the whole world right now. You ready? It's called estrogen saturation.
Estrogen saturation.
But it
all
does
right.
not only affect women, it affects men also.
I've heard men get estrogen
Yeah.
from everything too, because it's in our chicken and our foods and
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
It's even in this. This is a can. If you look really close on the inside of this can, you see it? There's like that gray color right there.
Shiny gray.
That's called BPA, bisphenol A. It's toxic. So Debbie and I have been really fortunate. We just have never really consumed canned food.
No, we don't either.
And I don't want to talk about my wife, but she does not have tender breast or a heavy menstrual flow, or she did not when she was going through her menstrual cycle. That's a good body signal. You do not want tender breasts and heavy menstrual cycle. It's a body signal of high estrogen.
Okay, so these hormonal issues that happen in our bodies, how soon can this happen? Can this be just menopausal women, or how early on can this be that we see hormonal imbalances? And what are the signs of hormonal imbalances?
You ready? This is
Yes.
going to rock your boat.
Okay, are you ready? You ready for this?
You can actually start, you can see it when a young girl is 5 or 6 years old. Because, and it's epidemic, they have the beginning of their secondary sexual characteristics. Breast, pubic hair starts to develop at a very young age because we expose them to too much estrogen. So do you really want to become very radical right now?
Okay, go for it.
Soy. From our experience, now I've been doing this since 1978, have literally touched 750,000 people. So after you see a few bodies, you can kind of make certain statements. Soy impairs and alters, I've got to watch how I say this, normal estrogen production in a female because you're putting
Really?
too much estrogen in their body. Now this is a controversial subject.
Because what is soy in?
Soy's everywhere.
Everywhere, exactly. Every
And-
boxed anything has soy pretty much. in it.
Opinions that I've heard would say it's good for women. I mean, that's everywhere to say soy is good for women,
Yeah, what
right?
about soy estrogens and things they talk about?
So listen to what I said to you. Soy or estrogen is everywhere. It's in the water we drink, the food we eat. And I'll throw this little out. Men that go golfing, people that go golfing on golf courses, what do you think they spray? It's all part of the whole estrogen compound. So we have so much. And what's going on is that we're in overload and we cannot process it. Tender breast, heavy menstrual flow. Do you know that 95% of all breast cancer is caused by too much estrogen?
95%.
45,000 women die every year from breast cancer.
Right.
Let me throw another statistic out. 2,000 men a year get breast cancer. 200
Really?
die.
Wow.
Never heard of men getting breast cancer.
2,000
Unbelievable.
men every year.
And this is all because of too much estrogen,
Exposure
and yet it's
to-
everywhere.
But we have compromised liver function because, see, a woman's body is designed to process estrogen. Men's bodies are designed to process hormones, but we're throwing so much estrogen at them, and their body's not able to process it in a very effective way.
Wow.
So is that the reason that breast cancer has risen? So, I mean, because you didn't hear about it in the 1900s as much as you do now.
You're a very smart woman, and I know that we'll be taking a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the #1 reason why women today get breast cancer.
All right. Join us. We'll be right back in just a
right.
few moments.
Dr. Bob DiMaria, the drugless doctor, has a special offer that's a must-read for every woman watching today.
Hello, my name is Dr. Bob DiMaria, and I have a book, Dr. Bob's Drugless Guide to Balancing Female Hormones. Ladies, are you tired of thinking about taking medication?
Dr. Bob shows you how to restore hormonal function naturally, helping you eliminate costly prescriptions and time spent at the doctor's office.
Are you having functions in your body that aren't working like they used to? Well, I'll tell you what, we have Just Tell Me What to Do steps inside of this book.
You'll discover practical tips and proven methods to reverse unhealthy habits, show you how to safely eliminate medications, and give you insight on key supplements.
I know it'll make a huge difference in your life. Dr. Bob's Drugless Guide to Balancing Female Hormones.
Drenda has made this affordable for all her partners and friends for just $19. Call or go to Drenda.com right now and request your copy today.
Thank you so much for watching Drenda today. Hey, we want to help you out, put a smile on your face, give you answers, give you hope for your hectic week. One of the ways that we do that is through our download of the week, which is absolutely free and is available at Drenda.com right now. Make sure you check that out, download it and put it on your iPod or get it in your car to hear even more answers on today's topic. We also want to invite you to check out the blogs and the articles available, as well as leave us your comments and suggestions or ask us a question. We would love to hear from you. It's just one of the ways that we're helping you get life here on Drenda.
Be sure to join Drenda and her guests after the show for an in-depth discussion on today's topic. It's just a click away at Drenda.com.
We're talking with Dr. Bob DiMaria and his wife, Debbie.
Yes.
And Dr. Bob has the #1 book on Amazon, Balancing Female Hormones. So you know what you're talking about. And I like the fact
right.
that you do it in a drugless approach. So we're talking about all the things we expose ourselves to that basically become like a drug to our bodies, right?
Exactly
All of
right.
the wrong things that we're exposed to. So where do we go from here? We've got a plugged liver. We've got all kind of estrogen everywhere around us. I put on tons of it today in my cosmetics and everything that we've, probably touched and been around. So what do we do to combat this, and how do we stay away from breast cancer?
Well, it's
which is
kind
the
of
goal?
interesting. Hippocrates said, let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. It's actually even biblical that you want to eat food from seed-bearing plants. So as just a general rule of thumb, you have God-made or man-tampered.
Right.
Always go with God-made. Because man starts messing with it,
gets worse.
this liver has to work overtime. You can
Yes.
fool Mother Nature. Okay, so this, what I'm holding, is a shower dechlorinator. Now today, you, myself, my wife, and people watching us, either now or within the next 24 or 48 hours, are going to be in a 4x5 gas chamber called your shower.
Shower? Oh my.
And in your shower, you are breathing in chlorine gas.
Even if you have a well?
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Okay, because there's other issues you have to deal with the well, because we talked
Okay.
about earlier, we don't know where that well water
All
comes
right, so if you have
from.
city water, you're getting chlorine gas.
Okay, so we promote shower dechlorinators. So I'm going to throw out some chemistry right now, but this is significant. Bromine, fluorine, and chlorine. And by the way, they just reduced and eliminated the amount of fluorine in water in Florida, in one of the largest counties. This is serious stuff, because people know what's going on. So bromine, fluorine, and chlorine stop iodine, which is important for your thyroid. And you might be thinking, who cares? Well, if the thyroid's not functioning, you're not going to have a regular bowel movement. So when I speak in public, I always ask the crowd, how many of you pooped today?
Raise your hand.
And the ones that pooped always go like, I too. And then the ones that don't drop their head down. Well, if you're not having a regular bowel movement, guess what has to work harder?
Your liver.
Your liver. It all comes down to the liver. So we talk about in great detail in this book how to have your thyroid function optimally. Common thyroid body signals, low thyroid, cold hands, cold feet, wide spaced teeth, thinning hair, thinning eyebrows. Did you wake up with a headache this morning that went away as the day went on? High cholesterol, depression, fatigue, constipation, and being overweight.
I think you just dealt with most of women's problems right there. So the thyroid has to do with this.
1/3 of the people in the entire world have a low thyroid. 72% of the people in the United States do not have enough iodine.
Wow.
So we can test for iodine. We can do a urine iodine loading test. We talk about in the book how you can have your thyroid tested. Because you know what's unfortunate? Most women are told their thyroid's normal. But a lot of the factors, we've had women that could not get pregnant by fixing the thyroid gland.
Really? Wow.
So the thyroid affects every part of your hormonal balance.
That's exactly right.
Wow.
It is the gas pedal to your body. Now, ladies watching me right now, and for you two fine ladies, you need to have iodine because iodine prevents cysts in your breast, cysts in your ovaries. Now, we could talk for hours, but there's something called PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. Now, I speak all over the United States, and I spoke one place, and I saw the dad who was the owner of the company frantically doing this to his phone. I thought, boy, what are you being so rude? He was texting his daughter because I made one statement, lack of iodine is the leading cause of PCOS.
Really?
She went online, she researched it, she got very angry, not at me, of course, but at all of her healthcare providers.
Right.
She could not get pregnant. She came into our office because she wanted to get pregnant. She did IVF, in vitro, spent a lot of money, got pregnant once, tried to get pregnant again, could not, so she did in vitro again, had a miscarriage. How would you like to spend money to get pregnant, have a miscarriage? They told her she could never have a baby again. Her dad heard me talk about the iodine. We came in, we assessed her. They told her her thyroid was normal, and guess what? It was not normal. Her T4 was not converting to T3. Now, that might not mean anything to you, but it's very common. We fixed it. She got pregnant. She had her baby 7 or 8 months ago.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome.
And she's excited.
Yes,
very
I'm sure
excited.
after you've gone through all of those things to try to get pregnant and had a miscarriage. Wow, that's got to be a tremendous. And you see all kind of testimonies in your practice like this, where you diagnose what's wrong with the situation and you're able to attack that area instead of just putting them on medications, loading them down. Is it possible to stay drugless as a
Well,
woman?
my wife and I are closer to 60 than we are 50.
Really?
I know I got you, didn't I? No drugs.
Hallelujah. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's the way it's meant to be.
That's
So
right.
there's a word, apoptosis. It's very simple. For those of you at home right now, it's apoptosis. Apoptosis is limited cell life. There's a gene in your breast and your ovaries that's turned on so it'll work with iodine. That was important, by the way. And the other nutrient that most people are missing is vitamin D. Iodine and vitamin D will help prevent breast cancer.
Yes, and I checked mine and I was low on both of them.
It's very frightening.
Yes.
So you want it, if you're not taking any iodine, you don't go out and take a whole bunch of it, because if you've been exposed to bromine, fluorine, and chlorine, you start taking iodine, you're going to get sick because your body is pushing it out. You could have a skin rash, you could have headaches, you could have nausea. So you always want to talk to a healthcare provider. And one last thought when it comes to vitamin D, individuals who have dark skin, whether they be African American, from the Mideast, from India, wherever they're at, I can tell you they always have low vitamin D. Normal is 40, they always come in at 20. And what has everybody been saying? You should stay away from the sun. Do you think God put that sun up there?
I have always said that.
No.
We need sun. It makes you feel good.
Of
I'd
course
love
it
to go
could.
to the beach and be in the sun.
Do you know the
In
sunshine
moderation.
converts the cholesterol in your skin to vitamin D.
Right.
Hear what I just said? It converts the cholesterol in your skin to vitamin D.
So the bad becomes good.
The bad becomes good.
Wow.
we
Wow,
have
that's
less
what light,
cholesterol,
that's like
more
the light of
vitamin D.
God, right?
That's right.
The light of
Where's
God.
everybody bad?
The light of God chases the darkness away. So
know.
you're talking about the light, you know, the sunlight,
That's right. It's
taking
exactly.
care of that cholesterol.
Remember the lotion? You
Yes.
want to be aware of suntan lotion. If you look at the ingredients,
Yeah.
the ingredients in suntan lotions, if you go to the American Cancer Society hazard list, look at the container,
Really?
look at the hazard list. You choose. I know what I choose. We put nothing on our skin.
You just try to,
Inside out. Flax oil, olive oil, always from the inside out.
wow. So,
Interesting. So a lot of cancer preventatives, including skin cancer, that we need to know about. That's awesome.
Let food be your medicine, and medicine be your food.
I like that. So where else can we get iodine? You said something to me about Celtic salt.
Celtic sea salt.
Celtic, okay.
Kelp.
Kelp.
I actually take a tablet that has 12 milligrams of iodine in it. Ocean fish, not farm raised. We do not promote farm raised fish. Deep ocean fish.
Okay, this sounds like a trip to the beach for me. Okay.
All of us.
Sunshine, ocean fish, let's go. All right, ladies. Okay, we'll be right back with Dr. DeMaria and some more information that you need to know about your health and what you can do to prevent cancer, all these things.
Dr. Bob DeMaria, the drugless doctor, has a special offer that's a must-read for every woman watching today.
Hello, my name is Dr. Bob DeMaria, and I have a book, Dr. Bob's Drugless Guide to Balancing Female Hormones. Ladies, are you tired of thinking about taking medication?
Dr. Bob shows you how to restore hormonal function naturally, helping you eliminate costly prescriptions and time spent at the doctor's office.
Are you having functions in your body that aren't working like they used to? Well, I'll tell you what, we have just tell me what to do steps inside of this book.
You'll discover practical tips and proven methods to reverse unhealthy habits, show you how to safely eliminate medications, and give you insight on key supplements.
I know it'll make a huge difference in your life. Dr. Bob's Drugless Guide to Balancing Female Hormones.
Call or go to Drenda.com right now and request your copy today.
Back with Dr. Bob and all of his drugless cures for balancing our female hormones.
That's right. All of our studio audience is going to get Dr. Bob's Balancing Female Hormones today. And you can also pick this up at Amazon.com and a lot of other websites or wherever you buy your books. But this looks like it's going to be a phenomenal book. I can't wait to read it myself.
Yes, it is. I've been reading it. I've been trying to implement since. I love Dr. Bob at the end of the book. At each chapter, you say, just tell me what to do. How many of you are thinking that? Just tell me what to do.
Right. Women are busy. We need to know.
You give us all the science, and I love it. I mean, it's awesome. What he's saying is the truth, and you give us the science, but I love at the end, you just say, here's what you need to do. So what are some of the first steps, ladies, who feel like their hormones are out of balance? They have some of these symptoms that you are expressing to us today. What do they do? Just tell us what to do, Dr. Bob.
Well, I think the most important is that women have tender breasts. And see, I talk about breasts all the time. That's just what we do. My wife and I also have written a book about sex and romance. We've been married for over 35 years.
Awesome.
We still have
Great.
fire. But you know,
It's getting hot in here.
it's about eating the right food. So Debbie and I have at least a third cup. These are, for those watching us right now worldwide, this is a beet. It's amazing how many people don't know. This is a
food in its
beet.
natural form,
I have to be
right?
honest, after reading the book, I went and I bought these. And I set them in my dish on the counter. I watched them for 2 weeks until they just kind of went to pieces. So my husband kept saying, what is that? I said, it's a beet. Dr. Bob's supposed to eat it. So beets and carrots and...
Apple beets, Dr. Bob's ABCs, a half a red apple every day, a third cup of beets, preferably organic, grated raw, and 4 or 5 baby carrots or medium carrot. But that beet will lower your cholesterol 40%.
Wow.
I guarantee that.
Wow, I should have done it.
Nice.
I should.
So you can
Actually,
lower your
I don't have
cholesterol.
high
Now this does
cholesterol.
has a side effect. So if you're eating the beets, please don't call Drenda up and say, "Hey, I'm pooping red." It's because we know you're working. But finally, it's the broccoli. This is the health food. So first we have beets, and then we have this. If I was a woman right now, I would be eating some of this every day, steamed, sautéed, raw, but this has a chemical in it, sulfur-based, that lowers estrogen. This processes the estrogen. This helps your liver. The apple, beets, and carrots. Debbie and I eat 10 beets every week. We put them on our salad.
What do you do with it? Okay, this is like kind of hard and big and.
Well, because of technology, just put Dr. Bob DeMaria, beets. It's amazing how many thousands of people have watched me. Now, my old Harley Davidson look have watched me make beets.
Oh,
but
so
they're
you
really,
do it online on
Go to
YouTube.
you,
We'll
go
put
to
it up- Hey,
YouTube.
we'll put it on our website.
I'll have to create a new one with my, without my
That's a
facial
new
hair.
look.
My new look.
Okay.
But it's really
okay.
easy. Cut the ends off. You wash them a little bit. Cut them in half. Put them in a baking dish. Celtic sea salt. I do this because we grind it on. Balsamic vinegar, olive oil.
And it tastes good?
400 degrees, 1 hour. The balsamic vinegar draws the natural sweetness out of the beets. We put it on our salad, and we really do. We cook 10 a week, and if you're married and your husband's at home, that's his job. And get past the rubber gloves, just wash a little soap afterwards. But that's basically what we do. Now, I have to talk about this. We only have a moment.
That's a banana, right?
This is a banana, and every woman when she's 15 years old, they're told to eat the banana because they have potassium.
Yes,
Your mom did her job.
Yeah.
Well, I also know that
I'm
there.
afraid I did the wrong thing. I'm about to hear.
I also have a lot of ladies that come into office that have left neck and mid-back pain. We do not promote bananas, raisins, or grapes because the sugar in those fruits will cause left neck and mid-back pain. And I know women right before their menstrual cycle always love to eat chocolate. They'll always have left neck and mid-back pain. White potatoes and pineapple will do the same thing. We talk about it in the book, Bingo, Dr. Bob's Drugless Guide to Balancing Female Hormones.
Awesome, awesome. So many things to learn about, but we're going to learn it because we want to be healthy. We want to
do.
live
That's
long, finish strong.
That's right.
I know for me, I'm just revving up. I've got plenty of things to
That's
say
right.
and do and places to go.
That's right.
And I don't have time to be sick. I don't have time to have hormone issues either.
You don't.
So moodiness and all that stuff that goes with it, I don't believe we have to have that. That's part of the curse, isn't it?
That's exactly right.
We've been redeemed from the curse, and God's
right.
given us what we need. We just need to do it, right?
That's right.
You need to go to the website, Drenda.com.
Yes.
You absolutely need to get Dr. Bob's Balancing Female Hormones book on the site. You can get it. We'll put some more materials of yours on it. Thank you so much for being with us, Dr. Bob. Thank you.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Let us hear from you today. Go to Drenda.com or follow on Facebook and Twitter.
This has been a paid program sponsored by the friends and partners of Faith Life Now.